Hey friends, welcome back to day number 2 of my makeup collection and declutter week. Today we are going to be going through my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters, which should be challenging. I love face products, like I love blush, hence Little Blushing Birdie being the name of my blog. So I have more than is absolutely necessary. We definitely need to do some decluttering today, even though it's probably going to be extremely difficult for me to let go of some of these products. But we'll do it together. You guys will be my moral support. So I have some faith in my future self sitting down to do this declutter. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Lauren. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and chatting beauty with me. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but this week is special because I'm uploading every day while we declutter my entire makeup collection. So I hope you'll click that little subscribe button down below before you go if you want to be kept in the loop for my future uploads. And without me making this intro any longer, because we know this video is already going to be like an hour long, let's get into today's declutter.
All right, guys, so we are on to day number 2. I'm going to be doing my blushes, my bronzers, highlighters, and face palettes today. And I think this is going to be a lot harder than yesterday's like foundations and concealers and stuff, because I have, as you can see, a lot of blush, and I really love my blushes and my highlighters, so I feel like letting go with them is going to be more of a struggle. So why don't we start out with this pile right here, which is the smallest, which is bronzers. So this is my bronzer collection, which I feel like is not so bad, especially compared to my blushes, which I have a lot of. So I think we're going to start with this guy right here. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite bronzers ever. This was in my 2016 favorites, and it is still a favorite this year, 2017, and I'm sure I will continue to love it into 2018. So I'm definitely not going to be decluttering this. Something else I think I'm going to keep is this Bahama Mama bronzer from The Balm. I got this at Gen Beauty, and I've actually been using it quite a bit lately. I feel like you can't really see I made a dent, but it's definitely been well loved and used. This is a little bit deeper than the butter bronzer is. This is a really nice summer bronzer, I would say, for me, because it's a little bit more intense, but it's got a nice formula. It's easy to blend. It's very pigmented and creamy, and I definitely would recommend checking it out if you're looking for a slightly deeper bronzer. Now on the flip side, I have this bronzer here from Makeup Geek that I just got. I bought it in a Halloween bundle, and it's called the shade Sunkissed. So this is actually a slightly fairer bronzer, and actually this is probably good for me to use now that it's the dead of winter and I definitely don't have as much of a tan. Can you see my lovely pajama pants there? Hello. So I think I'm definitely going to hold on to this. I think this bronzer retails for like $22. So considering how luxurious the packaging feels and how nice the product is, it's a really good steal. Makeup Geek makes really high quality makeup for a much more affordable price. It's not quite drugstore pricing. It's a little more expensive than that, but it's less than you would spend for, say, like something similar from Too Faced. Speaking of Too Faced, so this is my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soil Bronzer, and this guy I have had legit for I can't even tell you how long. Too long. And I feel like I use it and use it and use it, and you can kind of see I made a little bit of a dent in this, but not nearly enough. And I feel like by age alone I should declutter this, but it still smells like chocolate. Like it still seems to go on my skin fine. I don't know. Maybe I should add this to my project pan for 2018 and just try to use this guy up so I can repurchase a new one. Now, here's my Makeup Revolution Ultra Bronze. I really do like this guy. This is a really beautiful drugstore bronzer, and it's like $7. It's so affordable. The pan is huge. It has like an almost nice sort of satiny finish to it, so it doesn't leave your skin looking powdery and flat matte, but it doesn't leave it looking shimmery either, which I appreciate because I'm not a big fan of shimmery bronzers, so I'm definitely going to be holding on to this guy. Now, on the flip side, something I think I will get rid of is this Physicians Formula Bronze Booster Palette. I bought it hoping that it would be a good dupe for some high-end contouring palettes, and I love this cooler toned contour shade in the middle, but I just never use this. I feel like it goes on kind of patchily on my skin, and you know, I've received some actual contour palettes in subscription boxes But that I actually do like and use. I've talked a lot about contour palettes and how that's not something I normally would go out and buy for myself because I just don't use them very often, and I already have a couple to use. So yeah, I think I'm going to pass this along to a home that will appreciate it a little bit more. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this guy is beat up and very, very loved. This is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer, and I absolutely adore this, and I'm sure that there's not that much product left. Let's see. Actually, hold on a second. All right, guys, so that is literally all of the product that I have left in this stick. So I think I'm going to keep this to try and use it up. I really love this. It's one of my favorite cream bronzers ever. It looks so beautiful on the skin and it blends in really nicely with your fingers, so it's perfect for on the go. So we will just try to use this bad boy up. Then I have this bronzer here from Laura Mercier. It is one of the Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the shade Bronze. So this is a little sample that I got, and it's a really beautiful bronzer. I do like this quite a bit. I'm just thinking that maybe my mom or someone would enjoy using this. I mean, I know it's just a sample, but there's still a lot of product in here. It takes a long time to go through one of these. And considering how many other bronzers that I have, I don't feel like I really necessarily need to hold on to this. To be honest, the same thing probably goes for this Tarte bronzer. This is the Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer. Does it say on the back here? What are you? Oh, yeah. Park Avenue Princess Waterproof Clay Bronzer. So yeah, this is again a sample. It's pretty, but this one has a little bit more of like a golden sheen to it. And to be honest, it's not my favorite thing to have a shimmery bronzer. So I probably should pass this sample on to a friend. Now I just got this sample of the Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick and I haven't even used it yet. So I guess I'm gonna hold on to this and see how it compares to that Milk Makeup bronzer stick. And then I have this tiny little sample of the Ciate London Bamboo Bronzer. Very cute. This is a matte bronzer. Let me show you guys what it looks like inside. Tone-wise, this is very similar to me to the Milk Chocolate Soleil from Too Faced. So I think I will also pass this little sample along to somebody else to get some use because again, I have plenty of full-size bronzers at my disposal. All right, so here are all of my blushes, and honestly, guys, this may be one of the hardest things for me to go through and declutter because I absolutely love my blush collection, obviously, as I have a lot of them, and I even have a lot of blush palettes and things too, which we will get to in a little bit, so I know this is going to be difficult for me to make decisions about what I want to get rid of. So why don't we start out with something that I know I want to keep. So I have this little guy here from Ciate. This is one of their Glow 2 illuminating blushes in the shade Matchmaker. As you can see, the little pattern that was embossed in this is worn off pretty hard because I've used this a lot and I really love this blush. I think it's so pretty. It's got that swirl of highlighting shimmer in it, so it adds like a subtle glow to your cheeks, but it's not too sparkly and not too shimmery. I think it just kind of looks really healthy and radiant. Very, very pretty. If you haven't seen these before, I would definitely check them out because they're sort of, I feel like, one of those little hidden gems at Sephora. Something else that I know I just cannot part with is this limited edition Champagne Splits from Becca Cosmetics. So this is in the Champagne Pop and Flower Child version, and this was something that released when the Champagne Pop collection first released, and oh my god. So beautiful from the packaging to the colors. When I first got this, I literally wore it all the time. You can see I've made a nice little dent in Champagne Pop there. I've definitely used the blush. And since you can't get this anymore, I can't declutter it for sentimental reasons. I should probably start using it again, even though that means eventually I'm gonna hit pan and that's gonna make me sad. But you know, makeup doesn't last forever. It's meant to be used. So I really think I need to put this back in my everyday drawer. And then something that I think that's gonna be easy for me to declutter is this Cargo blush because I know I haven't reached for it in ages. So this is what it looks like. It is a really pretty sort of peachy color, which is beautiful, but I think I must have another peachy tone blush like this somewhere in my collection. I mean, it's a little bit more peach than a lot of other things that I have, but I know I haven't reached for this in a long time, so I think it's better off just going to a new home. Something else that I think I want to keep is my Lorac blush here. This is in the shade Prism. It's one of their buildable matte blushes. These are really beautiful. They are very soft, buildable, very pretty on the cheeks. They look really natural. I haven't reached for this in a million years either. I need to pull this out of my stash because I really, really love this a lot. And then I have these two luminous blushes from Becca, and I love these. I love this formula. It's so beautiful, and it's, again, something that's got a little bit of radiance to it, but it's not really shimmery per se. But I know that I definitely don't use these as much as I should. They're very vibrant colors. I think they're really pretty for the summertime, so I kind of tend to reach for them less in the fall and winter. But do I really need to keep both of them is the question. And I do think that this shade here, this is Tiger Lily, is much more unique. It's like a really cool kind of orange shade, and this was the one that I had first. So I feel like if I had to pick between the two, I probably would keep Tiger Lily, because this berry shade here, this one is Snapdragon, is also really beautiful, but I'm sure that I have something more similar to this already in my collection. So I'm gonna put these aside as like a maybe. I need to come back to them and like decide on them later, but I may need to get rid of one of those, even though I don't really want to. Something that's a little bit easier for me is this Dose of Colors blush. This is from their Mint For You collection. This is in the shade, what are you, Statement? Yes, Statement. Such a pretty pan on this, and such a pretty pink color. I've been using this a ton lately. It's been living in my everyday makeup drawer, and it just gives you a nice light flush of the cheeks, and I think this is definitely going to be a really beautiful color for spring also, so I think I am going to continue to hold on to this. Something else I think I'm going to hold on to is this Wander Beauty On The Glow blush stick. It's actually a duo of a highlighter and a blush. I got this at Generation Beauty New York, so it's relatively new to me, and this is a really beautiful, like literally on the go type product for easy everyday makeup. And this was a kind of an expensive product too. I think it's like $40-ish in that price range. So that was really cool to get this essentially for free at that event. So I think I'm definitely going to hold on to this and continue to use it into the new year. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna declutter the Seraphine Botanicals Guava Butter. It looks pretty gross, guys. This is beautiful, actually. I absolutely loved this. It's sort of like a lip and cheek stain. It's a beautiful color. There's a bunch of different butters that they make. The guava one, I think, is just such a stunning color. It was so pretty for spring and summer. But I think now this will be hitting the year mark, and it says 18 months. All right, so I just took it out of the packaging, swatched it here, gave it the smell test just to see, because I don't think I've had this for over 18 months yet. And it smells fine. This is the color, what it looks like. Oh my God, it's absolutely so pretty. So even though the packaging is really kind of beat up and junky looking, it is really beautiful. I don't know, maybe I should just try to use this up in the beginning part of 2018, because there's still like quite a bit of product left in here. This was actually a full-size product. It wasn't a sample. They are just kind of super tiny, and I used this a ton, and there's still a lot left, so a little bit goes a long way. I thought I was gonna get rid of you, but I don't know if I can, because I love you and you're pretty, and obviously this is something that I used. Not doing a good job with the decluttering, guys. All right, so moving right along, this just is gonna be difficult. Okay, this guy here. This is Milani's Baked Blush and Luminoso. This is a cult classic blush product that everybody talks about because it is absolutely stunning. And this is what this one looks like swatched. It just has a little bit of shimmer in it. Super pretty. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to continue to hold on to this guy. Okay, all right, I need to declutter something. So I think since I did keep the other Seraphine Botanicals blush, I'm going to declutter this little sample of the Ginger and Gold. It is pretty. I just know I haven't reached for this in forever, and considering how many other blushes I want to keep, I think I could find a new home for this. All right, so I've got 3 different like cheek stains here. Do I need to keep all 3 of them? Probably not. So I'm gonna swatch them all on the back of my hand, and we'll decide which of these shades I like the best. All right, well that just entirely made a mess. My finger's gonna be stained. So these are the 3 blushes in the same order from left to right on the back of my hand. This Alouette is so pigmented. I use just the tiniest little bit there. I feel like if you're gonna put that on your cheeks a little bit, it's gonna go a very long way. And I think I do like this stain actually more than this one. This reminds me a lot of the Benetint from Benefit. So I think if you wanted a really good dupe for Benetint, this is much, much more affordable, and it's gonna give you a very, very similar look on the skin. But I think I just tend to like something that's a little bit, I don't know, more neutral undertone than something that's so red pink. So I think I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to definitely keep this one. I might declutter this one. And I think I'm going to hold on to this Alouette one as well. This is something I got in a BoxyCharm, and I just need to play around with it a little bit more because obviously it is super pigmented. Would probably look really pretty on the lips, but on the cheeks it's going to be something I'm going to have to use very sparingly. So I'm kind of curious to see what I can do if I play around with this a little bit more. All right, then I have these two little samples of Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. This was the Sephora birthday gift for 2017. This is in the shade Party. And this is something I just got in an Ipsy bag, and it's the shade Feisty. And honestly, they are very similar, and I probably don't need both of them. All right, so these are them swatched. The top is Feisty, the bottom is Party, and they're both really pretty colors. I think of the two on my complexion, I think I like Feisty better. So I think I should probably give Party away to a friend. All right, then I have these 3 in-stain blushes from The Balm that I've had literally for ages. Honestly, they probably should be thrown away because they're old, but I love them so much, and I use these to death. So this is the Spring color, which is a kind of nice, vibrant pink. This one is the shade, what are you? The shade Twill, however you pronounce it. Really, really vibrant, sort of coral shade, very unique and pretty. And then this is Houndstooth, which is a blush I recommend all the time for people because it's super like plummy and beautiful for fall, and it's really, really flattering in a lot of different skin tones. So I don't know, guys. I might need to keep these. I just love them so much, and I feel like nobody talks about them in the beauty community. Like, they're definitely not super hype, so I don't know. We may just need to keep these in my collection. And then there was this guy. This is the Make Satin Finish Blush in the shade Geisha, and this has been a favorite of mine for such a long time. It's just a really beautiful pink. I haven't worn this in so long. I really should pull it out and start using it again because it is absolutely stunning. And this is a little bit more difficult to get a hold of. It's not a brand that you can get at Sephora or Ulta, so I think I'm gonna keep this too, guys. All right. Okay. I think I can get rid of this butter blush. It's beautiful. I mean, it's really pretty to look at, and it smells absolutely amazing. But this is not a blush on me, not even a little bit. It's really more of a highlighter, and I know that I have other highlights that are similar in tone to this, and when we get to highlighter, there is a lot of them, so I really don't need to hold on to a product that is saying it's a blush, but it's actually a highlighter, and that I'm not reaching for that often. So even though I love the whole butter range, we're gonna say goodbye to this. Now, this guy here is something I got during one of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. It is the Sweethearts Perfect Flush Blush in the shade Beach Peach. This is what it looks like. Oh my god, so pretty. I will wear this all the time in the summer because, yes, it's shimmery, but it doesn't look like chunky on the skin, or it doesn't really enhance texture. It's just really glowy and beautiful. I haven't used this in a while, but I love it, and it's so pretty. So I need to doing this is making me realize I need to use my stash more. I've been not so good about rotating my blushes in my collection, so maybe that's something we need to get in the habit of doing. I also really love this guy from Physicians Formula. This is another thing that nobody talks about. It's one of their mineral wear blushes, air blushing blushes in the shade Natural. And this is just such a beautiful, soft, everyday pink. This is perfect for a very subtle makeup day for every day, especially if you have more fair skin. So, so pretty. I really don't want to get rid of this because I do really love it a lot. All right, so this, guys, this is a possible declutter. So I got this in PR from Pixie, and it's a beautiful blush. It's also a massive pan. And this was a collab they did with Aspen Novard, and it's a really pretty pink shade that has some gold shimmer running throughout it. So this is what it looks like swatched, and as you can see, it is very glowy. It doesn't really show up on my skin like a blush. You would think looking at this in the pan, it looks more pink, but I feel like on my actual skin, it has more shimmery reflect, which is why I haven't worn it as much. So even though this is beautiful, and I was gifted it, I think I would rather give it to a happy home where it will get more love and use. Okay, almost done. Getting down there. All right, this guy is brand new. I haven't even tried it out yet. This is a Lock Color Cushion Blush, so I think I will give this a go because I haven't even touched it or opened it yet. Then I have this RMS Beauty Lip to Cheek in Vogue Rose, which was a limited edition shade that Birchbox released in collaboration with Vogue for their 120th anniversary. As you can see, this has gotten some love. I definitely have used this a bit based on the fingerprints that are in the pan. So I love this for everyday makeup, and I guess I probably should just continue to use it until I use it up. But I mean, and I didn't take too many other cream blushes, so I don't feel so bad about keeping this. And to be honest, guys, these last four, I think I do want to keep them. This is the NARS Orgasm blush. It's a little 100-point perk I redeemed from Sephora, which I really like to have, especially for dupe comparisons, because this is such a cult classic product. This is something I got in an Ipsy bag from Dirty Little Secret that I barely have even tried yet. This is also a blush that I got from a BoxyCharm, and it's a powder, a loose powder, which is interesting. I don't have anything else quite like this, and I barely even used it. And this is one of those rose blushes from Milani, which is beautiful. And it was in, I think this shade has become permanent. You can find it now. It's a Blossom Time Rose, and it's good for, you know, at least 2 years. So I know this definitely hasn't expired yet. So I do really like this and think it's really pretty, and it's nice to have more drugstore options, of course. I'm not really hurting for blush options at all right now, but I think I do want to hold on to this. And these are my highlighters, which I absolutely love, but I know I don't necessarily use all of these anymore, so we need to do some decluttering. So I could tell you right off the bat a couple things I know I'm not going to get rid of. This is a Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Prosecco Pop. Got this in a BoxyCharm. Am totally obsessed with it. It's, oh my god, such a beautiful golden highlight. So this is not going anywhere. The same thing is going to go for my Milani Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder in the shade Sun Glow. Oh my god, this is absolutely gorgeous. So I am not going to get rid of this. Nope, nope, not even a little bit. As well as my Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter. This one is like a butter. It is just, oh my god, stunning. Absolutely love this. I cannot part ways with this. I do, however, think I am going to declutter this Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the shade Radiant Lights. This is a really beautiful formula. It swatches really prettily on the skin. It's like a very glowy, not too over the top highlighter. This is just a little too cool toned, I think, for my skin. It just looks a little ashy on me because I definitely have a very strong yellow undertone to my complexion, and this is much more pink, so I'm not a huge fan of this anymore. I used to really like it a lot, but I've kind of grown out of it, so I think I'm going to get rid of this. I'm also going to declutter this Temp 2 times BoxyCharm Liquid Glow. I never reach for this, and I'm not a huge fan of liquid highlighters, so I know I'm probably never going to reach for this. It's basically full, so I'm going to pass this along to a friend. The same thing goes for this Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizer. It's absolutely a beautiful formula. I just never use it, so I think it should find a new home. Now these guys are relatively new to my collection. These are the new Physicians Formula Butter Highlighters, so I definitely think I'm going to hold on to these guys. Let me swatch them for you so you can see how freaking pretty they are. Just look at that, guys. Oh my goodness, so stunning. So I've got Rose Gold on the right and Champagne on the left. These are just, oh my goodness, like the wet looking beautiful highlights, and they just melt into your skin. You can apply them with your fingers. Lots and lots of love for these guys. The rose gold definitely is a little deep on me right now that it's winter, but in the summertime with a tan, I think it's gonna look amazing. So definitely gonna continue to hold on to these guys. All right, so I'm on the fence about this little guy. This is the Luna by Luna highlighter. I got this in an Ipsy bag. It's actually a full-size product, and it's in the shade Calypso. And I had kind of really liked this when I first got it because I thought it was just such a unique highlighter shade. It's kind of this like cool, almost taupey sort of color. The only thing is I think this looks weird on my skin because my skin is so warm. Let me swatch it and show you. So this is what this one looks like. And as you can see, it's got an almost purpley taupe undertone to it. It's really reflective and beautiful. I just don't know how flattering it is on me. So I think maybe it would be better for me to pass this on to a friend than just to have it collecting dust because I just haven't reached for it in a really long time. Because I just think, I don't know, not the most flattering thing on my skin tone. So I know I've got to hold on to this guy. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. I don't know if it says it on the back here somewhere, but it is the shade Precious Petals. I talked about this in my 2017 Best of Beauty video. It is a beautiful sort of peachy pink peachy pink highlight. So I know this is not going anywhere. Then I have this Hourglass highlight here. This is one of the ambient strobe lighting powders in the shade Incandescent Strobe Light. This is just like a little mini size that I got here. And it's really, really beautiful. Now, all right, so here's my struggle with this. I'm pretty sure that I have a very similar shade to this in another highlighting palette. So do I really need to keep this little mini size if I also have the palette? I mean, I could probably give this to my mom. She would probably think it was really pretty. So I probably shouldn't be selfish and keep this just because it's Hourglass and it's beautiful if there's somebody else that can use it and love it. Now, I just got this Ofra highlighter. This is the Nikki Tutorials collab, the Everglow highlighter. So I think I am going to hold on to this because it's beautiful and I just received it and I've used it a little bit. I love mixing these two shades together. It's really, really pretty on my skin tone. So I think I will continue to get use out of this. And then I have this itty bitty sample of the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. And this is something when I do feel like reaching for a cream highlighter, I will reach for it, and I do like to have it just because it's such a popular product and it doesn't take up a lot of space in my collection because it's so tiny. So I think I will keep this. And then there is this Marc Jacobs Spotlight Glow Stick. I got this from Influencer a long time ago. This is basically a highlighter that looks like a stick of deodorant. And this has both gold and silver pearls in it, so it's supposed to be basically one universally flattering shade. And this is what it looks like swatched. So it is quite light and very reflective and pretty. And this is something I used a lot and for like everyday makeup looks because I could just apply it with my fingers pretty quick and easily. I don't know, you know, how old, I mean, this is pretty old to be honest, so I probably should declutter this at some point. Maybe I'll try to use up a little bit more of it, and then this definitely shouldn't make it through another year's declutter, let's say that much. Now, this is another sample product that I have here from Laura Mercier, one of the Matte Radiance Baked Powders in the shade Highlight. This is also super beautiful, and I would use this all the time. I haven't been reaching for it as much lately. As you can see, it's kind of a hot mess, but it's a really beautiful, very like subtly, naturally glowy highlight. Now, I mean, I definitely have not worn this as much recently, but it is really beautiful. And it is really nice for like a no makeup type of look that gives you a healthy glow. Should I keep it? Should I pass it along? I'm going to also put this in my maybe pile. This is another one I'm really torn about. This is a Makeup Geek highlighter in the shade Luster. And it is a really beautiful formula. Very, very shimmery, but not too chunky and metallic. Luster is just super pink. It's just like a very, I don't know, sort of icy pink color, which again is not usually my absolute favorite. It is nice if I'm doing someone else's makeup to have at least one highlighter in this kind of shade. I don't know. I may also pass this along to somebody else. I have to think about it. And then I have this Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder. Look at that sparkle, guys. You can just see it in there. This is in the shade Illuminati. Got this in a BoxyCharm. So I definitely think I want to hold on to this. And then I have 2 tubes here of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. These are like sort of more sample sizes of Opal and Moonstone. And, you know, like I said before, I don't use cream highlighters very often. These are really super popular products, though. They're nice to be able to compare for dupes and things like that as I come across things from the drugstore or I get other samples. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any other cream highlighters, so I might just hold on to these, but I should put them in a place where maybe I'll be more tempted to use them more often. And then last, but certainly not least, I have all of my, like, face palettes. So let's take a quick look at these. I don't think I can ever throw away my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. This thing is just a thing of beauty, and it also costs an arm and a leg. And this is the highlight shade that I was talking about that's very similar to the one that I had in that little travel size single. So I'm gonna keep this since I'm giving the other one away. Now this is something I literally just got in my BoxyCharm. It's this little Bronze Essentials palette. I haven't even swatched this yet, so I think I am gonna hold on to this and give it a try. But if I don't end up liking it, then I definitely will pass it along to a friend who might enjoy it better. Then there's this guy from Pixi, and I'm a little torn about this because it's a really beautiful palette with some shimmery highlighters and then also some bronzers. It's not my absolute favorite thing, but I don't really have any other blushes or highlighters or anything like that from Pixie. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it would be better for me to pass this along to somebody else that will use it, because these like bronzer shades are not my absolute favorite, but the formula is nice. Like, it's pretty easy to work with. So I don't know. I'm going to put this in the giveaway pile. I may change my mind, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for now. So this is something I do definitely want to keep. This is from IBY Beauty. It is a highlight and contouring palette that I got in a BoxyCharm, and I do reach for this a lot. See, these powders I like for contouring a little bit more because they're a little bit more cool toned. Sometimes I'll use these highlighting shades for setting under my eyes. So this is very pretty. I do enjoy it. We'll be holding on to this. Then I got this Koki Strobing palette, which is shimmery and actually prettier than I thought it was going to be, because these look pretty like unassuming in the pan. But again, I have a million highlighters, so I probably don't need to hold on to this. So I think I will definitely declutter this guy and give it to a friend. I think the same thing is going to go for this Koki blush palette. These are really beautiful shades, but I have a bajillion blushes, as you guys are well aware of now. So I think I would rather give this to a new home where I will get plenty of love. I am, however, going to hold on to the Koki Powder Contour Palette because I do really like this a lot, and I obviously don't really have any other contour palettes. This seems very similar to the Kat Von D one to me in like the shape of the pans and the colors. So I think this is really nice, and it's super affordable. So I like having something to talk about for you guys that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg if you want to get a contouring palette. Now this guy is a full face palette from Tarte that I just got a few months back, and I really love this a lot. It came in like a limited edition set that QVC had. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna continue to hold on to this because this has 6 eyeshadows, a blush, a bronzer, and a highlight. So it's literally everything you need to do a full face of makeup, and I think the colors are super pretty. So definitely gonna hold on to this. Also, it smells like vanilla. Delicious. Now these guys here are from Makeup Revolution. These are their Ultra Blush palettes, and I have 2 of them. One is in Sugar and Spice, which is the one I'm opening right now, and the other one is in Hot Spice. And these are stunning. They're really, really fun. The blushes are actually really gorgeous inside of them. Very easy to work with, pigmented, blend out beautifully on the skin. But do I really need to keep them? Is the question. Like, I have a million other blushes, and I have plenty of drugstore blushes to talk about. So I think, I think I'll pass these along, actually. I've had them for a long time, and I haven't been reaching for them. The packaging is so sturdy. It's wonderful. These are $10 a piece, by the way, which is so affordable. But I think it would be better served for these little guys to go to a new home. This is another blush palette I just got in BoxyCharm. It's the Real Her blush palette. So I've barely had a chance to play around with these shades yet, so I think I will hold on to this. Then this is the Ofra Holiday Glow palette. I just did like a first impressions demo with this, and I wasn't a super huge fan of it, but I think I am going to continue to hold on to it. I love the Blissful highlighter. Oh my god, so gorgeous. And I think I really just do need to play around with this a little bit more. If I like some of the products and don't like others, I don't know what I'm going to do. I could always break this down and declutter parts of it because everything pops right out. You can see the little notches next to the pan, so you can just go in there and remove them. Everything is held in by a magnet, so I think I will keep this for now, but I don't know how long it's going to stay in my collection. And then finally here, this is actually a custom Z palette from Tarte. Like, how freaking beautiful, by the way, is this palette, guys? I think this was something for the holidays. I don't know if you can still get it. But these are just some single pans that I have in here. I actually depotted my Tarte blushes and highlighters. They are apparently magnetic in their compact, so they just pop right out, which is really cool. This is designed to hold 9 of these. But I also threw in my Makeup Geek contour powder and blush, and then a few other Ofra powders that I had received from like Ipsy bags and stuff. So this is just what this looks like. I don't think I'm going to get rid of anything in here. And this is where I'll continue to throw new face powders throughout 2018. All right, so this is the final end result. These are all the products that I'm going to be keeping. I know there's a lot, but these are probably some of the most used and most loved things in my collection. So this is everything I'm going to be holding on to. And then over here, I have the pile of what I'm going to be giving away to friends and family because I have not been getting nearly enough use out of these, and I think they will be better loved in somebody else's home.
So that wraps up today's declutter. Thank you guys again for hanging out with me. This was a challenging one. I know I probably could have done a little bit better than I did at letting go of some things, but I just love my blushes and my highlighters so much, guys. And I do feel like I use them, but I need to be better. I need to make more of an intention in 2018 of using these products that I know that I love and that are super pretty. So hopefully, if you are already subscribed or if you click that button before you go, you will see in my future videos that I will make more use of these products in the coming year. In the meantime, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in tomorrow's Declutter.